So I've got a very, very interesting test, and as soon as I saw the Callaway AI 200s come out, I thought, bingo. I've got to test them against this exclusive, and I would say relatively new, Japanese, premium, exclusive, top of the range. You get the point where I'm going here. Very expensive iron. So the irons in question right now in this head-to-head battle are the Callaway, here we go, AI 200 irons, and the PROTO-Concept Forge CO5. This company came out in 2019 and says all their irons, pretty much like concept cars. They have the best technology to hand right now in the golf market, and they put it all into a set of irons. Now these retail at a very, very expensive price point. Over £2,000. £2,000. Which actually makes the Guester AI 200s from Callaway look like a cheap iron. They're just north of £1,000. Still very expensive. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna get some ball speed numbers, some carry numbers off the tee. How do they perform on the fairway? So well. We're looking at this as an overall test to see what is up there as one of the best super exclusive premium irons, if that's something you're looking for in the market, or if that's something where you're like, oh, this is just pretty interesting, make sure you watch along. Let's start with first look. Here you go. This is the PROTO-Concept. And then this is the Callaway. Very similar in terms of thickness. The Callaway is a hollow head design, whereas the PROTO-Concept, they call this a pocket cavity. So we're going to start this test on the 16th and hit 2 shots with each from the tee. Now what's really interesting, the PROTO-Concept has 32 degrees of loft in the 7-iron, so I guess it's strong but not super strong, whereas the Callaway has 30 degrees of loft. That's 2 degrees. What will that amount to? Will that get more ball speed? Will that get more carry? This is really interesting because both claim they use super premium materials, the best available right now. I'm going to normalize these numbers so you can see exactly what's happening because it is a little bit windy today. Okay, I'm really interested to see what happens here. We're also going to take into account during this battle, like where did he finish? I know a good one on this hole will just make it. And when you see the data, the PROTO-Concept, I've put under 7-iron, and obviously the Callaway, I put under Callaway, so we can see the data averages at the end. So let's start off with what I think is one of the most interesting irons. The PROTO-Concept CO5. Let's see what you've got. Let's see what you've got. That was smoked. I haven't got a better shot in my locker with that, I don't think. Ooh, a 129.5 ball speed, 178 carry, 7.6 spin, and a 93.6 miles an hour. So we're gonna try and keep the club head speed around the same. Ball speed starting off strong. That was a good hit. That was a good hit. Now, it's really interesting, after hitting one away and placing that down, there is some real subtle differences between these irons in terms of how they look down behind the ball. The PROTO-Concept here on the right, and quite noticeably, the AI 200 has a much thicker top line. So I'd say just as a little bit of something, these are a little more inviting, just because it looks a little thicker. But head size from toe to heel, very similar. The reason why I've chosen these irons to go head to head, they're both designed for a better player, like a player's distance iron. You've got one that's hollow headed, as I said, and one with a pocket cavity. But for me, after testing them both individually, they both fall into that category. Okay, Callaway coming up now, first ball. I do want to say this though, any bad shots, I am going to keep in there. Oh yeah, it does look a little different down behind the ball. That is straight down the flag. Please be the club. Again, that was smoked. Now remember, this does, oh, what a shot that is, Alex. Come round on the slope, keep coming. Remember, this does have 2 degrees stronger loft. Whoa. We'll get the averages between this, the fairway and the rough at the end of this video. Ball speed out of the park, 134.7, 95.7 club head speed, a little longer, and carry 191. That, sir, is strong. Huge statement right there from the Callaway AI 200. It definitely felt very similar off the face. Both feel very, well, forged. Both feel very premium. And remember, these are both in that premium category. Super premium, right? Okay, back to the PROTO-Concept. That was hit so well. Again, very similar in height. Very similar in height. That was inside the Callaway, that is inside the Callaway. Interesting. Oh, you know what? 179 carry, 97 club head speed, so more, but still less ball speed. Now I wonder if that is just that loft tweak, Oh, another super strong hit from the Callaway. These both go high, you know. These both go high. So you throw a blanket over them. So we're partway through this test and let's have a look at this data right now. Interestingly, there's a 6 miles an hour difference in terms of ball speed between the AI 200 over the Proto-Concept. Now remember, there is 2 degrees difference in loft, but a lot more difference in price. You've then got the carry. So in terms of carry, we've got a 178 versus a 196. So to me right now, we've got a bit of a leader. I will say this, I have used both of these shafts. So in the past, I have both been fitted for them. So it's nothing to do with that. Yes, they are different shafts because essentially you can't get the same head on these in the sense of like the fitting kit. But really interesting, a little bit of a sneaky leader in the Callaway. Which one are you preferring? Both fly very similar in terms of height, but one has a little bit more juice on it right now. Okay, let's now move into the rough and get some data from there. Oh, just look how good those shots are. They're the 2 Callaway, that's one from the Proto-Concept here, and another one just in here. So here we go, here are the 4 shots out the rough. I'm starting with hitting 2 with the Proto-Concept. Now, one thing that I would say is this felt like it moved through the turf very, very nicely. Yes, I pulled these a little bit, but I'm very wary of missing the screen right. Still pretty good shots from such a long distance out. So 2 away with the Proto-Concept. I followed this by 2 away with the Callaway. Interestingly, I didn't strike these as good. So heading into the shots on the fairway, I feel like those rough shots have really narrowed that gap between the Proto-Concept and the Callaway AI 200. So it's all to play for. So it really has just come down to this. This is interesting. This is really interesting. I'm looking at this data and I can't believe quite how close this is. Again, these shots are gonna be normalized. I've come to around the 200 yard mark, so I don't feel I have to take anything off it. Let's start with 2 away from the Callaway. Now, in terms of looks, I have to say, I think I do prefer the Callaway. I don't know, I just really like the look of it. I know they're slightly stronger lofted, but they've done a brilliant job because they're flying around the same height. So you're getting a little more bang for your buck with stronger lofts, but not compromising launch. This is interesting. Okay, final part of this head-to-head battle, and then we will go through those averages. Okay, we're gonna go Callaway. Let's log that screen in, put it on a lie. We're in the fairway, so we don't need to show anything else. I'm really, really interested in this. Feel-wise, I've got no preference really. Straight down target. Honey of a hit. Be the club, baby. Oh, that is long. Sugar. Wasn't as fast. 129.6 ball speed, 177 carry. Pretty good shot though, right? Pretty good shot. Now let's see what that shot's done there to the averages. Now in terms of ball speed, that has made it, that shot right there. Bear in mind, I have hit one more shot. With the Callaway, that has made it a dead heat. 128.2, tied. Both. These averages here are taking into account every single shot we've hit from every scenario so far. Final shot with the Callaway. Oh, I can't believe how close this is. Remember, this club right here has 2 degrees stronger loft on it. There we go. Not quite as good. A little bit out the heel. It's down target, but probably not going to be as long. Yeah, ball speed a little bit down, but remember, I said to you, I'm keeping all this data in there because simply I want you to see how they perform, not only on the good shots, but as an overall average. That leaves us there so far with all the data for the Callaway AI 200. Let's now hit the last few shots of this test. So here we go, the last few shots ripped. With the Proto-Concept. Absolutely ripped. The first one was absolutely nutty. This finished left half of the green. The second shot was a little bit out the heel, so I guess a little similar to the second one I hit with the Callaway. But it's now time to go through the data. And this is seriously interesting because, remember, The facts and figures are here. We've got £1,000 rough price difference between the Proto-Concept and the AI200, the Proto-Concept being the more expensive. Wow, my voice. This is not good. And also the difference in loft. The Callaway has 2 degrees stronger in loft. Now, coming off the tee, I felt like the Callaway was far superior, well ahead. We then hit some shots in the rough and from the fairway. So the club head speed average data over the 6 shots that we've hit is 93 to the Proto-Concept and a far more superior 96 miles an hour to the Callaway AI200. Remember, I've been fitted for both of these shafts. I both used them in a set of irons in the past, so they both suit my game, I feel. And that's something that I would say is a playable feel on the course. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Let's now go ball speed. Ball speed, 127.8, 127.6. Callaway AI200 just sneaks it by 0.2. Nothing in it, 2 degrees stronger loft. And then coming down to the currency of carry, 181 to 183, nothing in it. So this is a very interesting concept. Proto-Concept, interesting concept. For what has a little bit less loft, a slower club head speed, is still producing a very high ball speed and a very competitive carry. This is a very, very interesting test on what I would say, well, I'm not saying it justifies the price of Proto-Concept, but it definitely explains why they're saying they've got very premium materials. And this is not me discrediting the Callaway. It's a brilliant club, and if I'm honest, I would probably still go for the Callaway AI200 over the Proto-Concept, just purely because of the look and the feel of the face. I prefer it. But there you go, a head-to-head battle. They're the facts, they're the figures of the test between the Proto-Concept and the AI200 Apex irons from Callaway.